better not have no plans tonight.
Movie time and it's feeling right.
You're looking for a love that lasts. You'll find it at Romancing the Podcast. Ooh, ooh, baby, you had me at hello. Ooh, I love you.
I know.
Ooh, ooh, baby, you're the wind beneath my wings. Ooh, ah, I'll have what she's having.
Paige, I literally have no idea which podcast this is for.
This is for Romancing the Pod.
All right. I guess we'll find that out when you start the intro, I guess.
Thank you for tuning into Romancing the Pod. You had us at Top That. I'm Paige Wesley.
Oh, man. And I'm what your parents thought the Beastie Boys were at the time, Todd Schlosser. And this week, Paige made us watch Teen Witch. So, Paige, why would you do this to people? Why would you make us watch Teen Witch?
Well, transparently, I had picked another movie.
This is what I wanted to get to, yeah, because Teen Witch is crazy great. I mean, it's stupid, but it's great. But I kind of wanted to talk about your plan.
I had picked another movie that I still very much want to do. Unfortunately, it was 3 hours long, and I was going on hour 10 of my day job, and I did not have the emotional fortitude to sit through 3 hours of that movie. However, I still want to do that movie, in part because on TikTok, somebody reminded me of a scene from that movie that is like Tropic Thunder levels of bad. And I need it. I want to do it so bad.
Is it the scene where Brad Pitt bounces around like a beach ball?
No, it's the scene where he talks to a woman in a Jamaican patois.
I've honestly never watched past that first scene because it's really all I needed from that movie at the time I saw it. Anyway, we can get to that when we get to it. But Paige, when was the first time you saw Teen Witch?
Today. I made the same mistake and almost watched Teen Wolf, and then I was like, did I text Todd
man.
Teen Wolf or Teen Witch? And I was like, Teen Witch.
I'd argue that Teen Wolf is a romantic movie if you're Wolf's character and the guy who you're in love with just realizes, oh shit, I guess I kind of am in love with her too.
Maybe.
I would just like to do Teen Wolf because it's way better than this.
No, it's lies. This movie is great.
This movie's great for a Canadian straight-to-DVD movie. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was expecting. My expectations were on the floor.
Yes.
And what I basically got was a John Hughes movie with cool outfits and witchcraft. And you're welcome.
I mean, no notes. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you're asking me not to like a movie that feels like a musical, but no one really sings except for three guys who are way too old to be in school, but are magically never in class. I don't know what's going on with those dudes, but they are troubling.
Questionable.
Yeah.
They're never in class. Half the school looks 30, half the school looks 12. There's no in between. The cheerleaders have their own full 3.5-minute musical number. It's the only time anyone in the movie sings like it's a musical.
Paige, they also go on forever. The coach has to stop them. I'm afraid that song would never have stopped.
It would have never ended.
Had the coach not busted in, blown the whistle, and been stop pretending like you're naked behind towels. We can all tell you're not naked. It just looks silly. But was I giggling? Yeah, it was stupid.
Of course.
It was so dumb.
Why do they all have matching leotards? Is their gym uniform a leotard? I don't know. This is the song that never ends.
Somebody get the coach in here. We gotta lock this shit down.
Gotta stop it.
I got too many questions already, and I'm in a girls' locker room. I shouldn't even be here.
Right. I mean, I did not expect to like this as much as I did today. And I don't know if it was just because it was about a theater girl who just wants to be popular and have cool clothes, which at my core is what I be. But I don't know. I genuinely enjoyed this. I would absolutely watch this again.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just in my feels. But you know what the cure for being in your feels is? Ruffle skirts. Let's go.
Honestly, I would put this on again if we were decorating for Halloween or something. It's that kind of movie.
Exactly.
Is it a movie that you're going to be oh my God, I am changed after watching this? Yeah, of course it is. It's that level silly, but it's not going to change your world. You know what I'm saying?
It's not Sinners, okay?
It's not going to change your worldview or nothing, but not every movie can do that, but not every movie can do this either. And that is pretty much be a cartoon.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I don't disagree. But was it wildly charming today? Yes.
Yes.
And this is a cult favorite. This has been requested in both the Horror Virgin and Romancing the Pod groups, even though it is not a horror movie at all.
Well, there's witchcraft in it, Paige.
Witches don't make it horror, okay? Quit casting them that way.
Paige, you're not mad at me. You're mad at
I'm
the
not.
Catholic Church.
I'm mad at the Catholics. As usual, this is the title of my memoir, Paige Wesley, Mad at the Catholics.
Not the Catholics, but like the institution that 400 years ago demonized witches or whatever.
Yeah,
Hashtag not all Catholics. Like, Paige, we get it.
Some girls just got really into herbs and y'all had to burn them. I don't know what the deal is. I feel like this is a cult favorite, and I understand. Because if I had seen this, look, I'm 37 watching this today, and I'm like, yes, queen. If I had seen this at 16, 15, it would have been one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I'm sad I missed it back then.
Oh, yeah. This is for you back then.
100%.
Today Ask Me Today really wanted someone to tell Brad that the girl in his car was 16.
because Brad's like 35.
He's late 20s. At least late 20s, Paige. And she doesn't look a day over 15.
No.
I mean, I'm sure she was a little bit older than that, but she's definitely a teenager when they filmed this.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know. They may have broken some laws. You think they didn't bang in that ghost house they went to, Paige?
God, I would have. That, honestly, I have notes on that. That entire, I'll call it a sex scene. It's heavily implied they bang. Is shot hella from the female gaze. And revolutionary for the time.
Yes.
And I dig it, here for it.
Yes, Teen Witch, notably revolutionary for the time. Although I don't disagree, because it does sexualize him.
It sexualizes him.
Like, way more than movies at the time did.
Yes.
Like, he is wearing a shirt with no sleeves, but he's all business.
All business. And just the way the camera sexualizes him in that scene, it's like his arms, his shoulders. And I'm like, a woman shot this. Like, I know it. I don't know it. I didn't look that up.
You know what was really gross about that scene?
The wood paneling on the floor.
As someone who grew up with wood paneling all around, Paige, notably, no, I had no problem with that. My issue was that he was 27 and she was 12. But like, no, it was really that she was walking around barefoot in this like abandoned house. Like, I was very concerned for her. I was like,
I had the same thought.
she must have like got a tetanus shot recently. Like, she has the like, oh, I'm fine kind of mentality of someone who like recently got the tetanus booster.
I think he had an injection ready for her.
Ha! Gross. She is a minor. He is so close to Social Security. Like, he is so much older than she is. He's not that much older, but he is a good 9 or 10 years older than her in real life.
The characters within the film are only 3 years apart or 2 years apart.
They do not look like it.
They don't look like
No. She looks 15 and he looks 28.
But this is the same John Hughes problem of where like everyone here is 30 and they were all teenagers. It was just that teenagers in the 80s dressed like they were 30. And so like sometimes you're looking at people and you're like 30 or just 80s teen. But then you look at Brad and you're like, that's definitely a full-grown adult.
Yeah, he definitely is a full-grown adult. Like, which you see when we see him like practicing football, you know, which you do by throwing a football through a tire and then taking your shirt off and then doing one push-up and then one sit-up and looking like you're just like spent.
I thought it was hilarious that they would cut away every time where he would throw in one shot and then they'd cut to just a football going through a tire.
Yeah, because he couldn't do that really on the day.
He can't do it.
Are you kidding me?
Also, there's no tire around. We never see one.
Oh, you guys famously don't have just like tire targets like set up so your quarterbacks can throw through them? No, I've never seen that on a school campus. I've seen that in someone's backyard, which I guess, no, this was on the school campus.
It's on school grounds.
Weird. I don't understand it.
Todd, I find it so strange that you would be so harsh against a movie where a woman is tucked into bed in a full denim jacket reading a book.
It's the only part that made sense to me, Paige. Because I do more or less that every time we record late to Natalie. She gets like in her comfies and then I tuck her in while she reads, kiss her goodnight, and she goes to bed while we record.
Yes, but not in a full denim jacket.
I'll be honest with you. If it had like a puffy interior, I could see it.
Unhinged. That's the most evil thing in this movie about witchcraft. And you know what? The Catholic Church gonna come for you.
You better watch out, Zelda. I do think that, I don't know, having the villain from Poltergeist be like the fairy god witch in this, I was shocked she was a good character. Because in Poltergeist, she's like the big bad, kind of. Also, if I was talking to Zelda and Zelda was like, hey, say these 3 words that are not a language that you currently speak, and then do these 5 or 6 very specific steps, I'd have been like, hang on, I got to write this down. There's no way I'm remembering this because, like, that's not how my brain works. Like, I could not do that.
I'm a visual learner. Can you make me a video?
I'd be like, can I write it down? And then, like, can you spell it phonetically? Because I'm a big old dummy, and so I'm not going to be able to pronounce that later in my room.
Yeah. I'm going to need to come up with mnemonic devices for this. So M for Mickey Mouse and A for Apple.
She is smart enough to figure it out, though. Like, she can hear it once, and she'll, like, go figure it out. But she is, like, the kind of dumb that also she will, like, conjure the wind to blow really hard before she struggles to find the passage to turn the wind off. Like, maybe turn the off switch, figure that spell out too, and commit that to memory before you turn on a tornado, Louise.
My favorite tiny little Easter egg in this movie that they were like, people are going to ask questions about this. Just put this one line in there and then they won't ask questions. Because we're sitting here being like, all these spells are in Latin. What? But in the very beginning of the movie, she's just like at her locker and 3 people come up and they're like, Louise, you're a shoo-in for the Latin Club president. And then they go away. We've never seen them again.
Holy shit. I forgot about those nerds. My God.
She never
That's
goes
so
to Latin
funny.
Club. No.
I legit forgot about, and like somewhere on the editing room floor, they were like, we can't cut the nerds. Like, we have to have the nerd plot line, the whole story, because that's how she knows Latin. And the director was like, all right, fine, but only cut everything with them except for the one scene that explains Latin Club and nothing else.
They're like the weird sisters in Macbeth. Just like, hail, 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 queen of Latin Club.
Paige, I kind of want you to talk like that the rest of the episode. Like, I don't know how to like get that to happen, but holy shit.
Hail, Thane of Cawdor.
That is amazing. Oh, man. Oh, can I ask you a question?
See.
First off, I think Brad is a stone cold moron who is a sociopath. How do you feel about Brad in this movie?
Brad's actions are very consistent with most of the men I knew as a teenager. And by that, I mean the boys in my class.
That's fair, because here's what Brad does in this movie. He, I guess, stone cold starts to date Louise before telling Randa that they've broken up.
Yeah, not at all.
Because they show up to the last dance after Louise turned him down for that same date.
Right.
So, like, Randa is there with Brad, fully under the assumption that they are dating and will be dating while they go to separate colleges.
Correct. Because she got into SF State. Wonderful school. I got into SF State as well. Go ahead.
I don't even know if that's a joke or not, but you said it like the cadence of a joke.
Well, so she in the movie, the girl next to her is like, I didn't even apply to college. And then she goes, I got into SF State, but my dad bought me a bike. And I was like, she says it like it's almost a dig at SF State, which is a decent enough school. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, sure.
What else? I didn't go because I didn't want to live at home.
San Francisco State. That's what that SF stands for.
Yeah, San Francisco
then. Okay.
State.
Yeah, I'm decoding it. I'm figuring it out, guys. It's fine.
Anyway. And then literally as she's like, he's going to visit me every weekend, which I guess implies that they are somewhere in California. I think Southern California, who knows? But Brad, as that's happening, just wanders away from her in the background.
Yeah.
But can we address the craziest thing about all of this? Her name is Randa, not Rhonda.
Paige.
Randa.
Yeah.
Randa.
It's almost random, right? That her name is Randa. I kind of loved it, though. Because every time I saw her, I was like, what was her name again? And then someone would say it and I'd laugh. I'd be like, ha, this movie's just being silly.
Randa.
I did kind of love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, also, here's another or more evidence. I mean, obviously, I think we've, Your Honor, covered everything that we need to establish in this court of film that Brad is a sociopath, right?
Sure.
Here's my evidence that he's a stone cold dummy.
Okay.
He shows up to her house
Yes.
to study English.
Yep.
One topic.
Uh-huh.
He's got 7 books in his hand.
Yes, for one paper. And it's implied within the film that they are in the middle of studying Hamlet. Very common for seniors.
Yes.
If you're in general English, right?
To bring about the famously 7-volume play called Paige, it's
Right.
one play.
Yeah, no, it's one play. It's one book. And even if he was bringing a textbook that contained Hamlet, it would still be one book. I think they just needed more for him to carry and thought it looked dumb. But it looks dumber with him having a stack of books.
It did look dumb.
Unless he's like behind, like so behind where he's like, I've got to write papers on Hamlet, Antigone, and Death of a Salesman. Like all of them.
Paige, the only thing funnier to me than him bringing 7 books to study one play with a girl, if he had just brought a pig under his arm.
It's Hamlet, my
Been like,
best friend.
it's Hamlet, guys. What are we doing? I thought it was a barbecue thing. Is it not? I'm so sorry. I misread the flyer.
Hail, pig of Cawdor. Yeah. That'd be weird. Fun, though.
I will say this movie, quality-wise, bad. It's a bad quality movie. But it is very charming and silly. And I like...
Sure.
I hate that I love the campy, silly shit so much. You mentioned John Waters. It does feel a little in that vein, although I do prefer John Waters.
Yes.
But it is like... I like it. It's fun. It's silly. I'll definitely watch it again.
John Waters definitely a little harsher, which is why
Yes.
I prefer John Waters.
Yeah.
But there are a couple things at the end of this movie that somebody just makes an aside that is incredibly, like, really cutting. And I'm like, oh man, I feel like you could take this whole movie up a notch and give it like Mean Girls level sarcasm. And this would be Jennifer's Body levels of fun. Like, that's the one thing that could elevate it for me. It's just pithier dialogue.
Yeah.
And I'm in.
Hey, honestly, Diablo Cody, take a pass at rebooting the Teen Witch franchise. And if you want someone to rap top that who is as old as the dudes in this movie who do it, call my father.
Well, but here's the thing. I think Diablo Cody's Teen Witch is Lisa Frankenstein, right?
Sure.
I think she already got a pass at it.
Yeah.
I want Rachel Sennett, who did Bottoms. Give her a pass.
Oh, Bottoms is great. Yeah.
Or who she co-wrote Bottoms. But give her and Iowa Debris a pass at this.
I honestly, no joke, I would watch a remake of this. Although
100%.
I bet there was one in the early 2000s and it sucked. But I'm just only guessing because that time period's very, like, notably for this kind of thing.
We'll go over it in fun facts. People have taken a crack at this a couple times. All I'll say to Hollywood is I am available if you want me to take a crack at this. Because I feel like I could fucking rule this shit.
Paige, at best, you could play the drama teacher. Oh, you mean to write it? You could write it. Sorry.
Yeah, write it. No, fuck it. I don't need to be in it.
I thought you meant be in it. I was like, Paige.
No.
I think you look very young. I do think high schooler is out of reach.
I don't know, not for this high school. But like, no, let me fucking write it and cast a young fat girl. Like, let me do it.
Yeah.
Just let me do it.
Yeah. Paige, one thing before we get into it.
Sure.
I was so mad when her teacher was like dressing her down about being a few minutes late to class. I mean, Paige, the dude's in a bow tie.
I know.
Bro, she's like 3 minutes late. You spent 15 tying that bow tie this morning to look the way you do right now? And you're mad at her?
I had a brief moment before when you started the setup to that joke and hadn't finished it yet where you were like, how dare you be late? And he's in a bow tie. And I was like, it's about how much time it took to tie the bow tie, isn't
Yep,
it?
it is. Those things take a while. And that's even if you don't have to look up the YouTube video on how to do it, which I do every time.
Sure. Get a clip on, fool.
No. What? No. Paige.
First of all, why are you wearing bow ties? You're an adult and you're not going to the Dapper Dan's convention in Disneyland.
Not since the restraining order, but Paige, I'm not going now.
What are you, in a barbershop quartet? Come on.
Paige, you are speaking to someone who has been in a barbershop quartet, ma'am.
Look, bow ties are for children, barbershop quartets, and old-timey barbers.
Okay.
With no exception. So, like, you're none of those things.
Babe, throw out the cummerbund, I guess. Paige, either way, I do think we have to go through this scene by somewhat disconnected by any sort of continuity scene.
Sure. Absolutely. This does not follow your well, it kind of does.
Kind of.
Follow a story circle. It meanders. It bike rides around it. We open on roughly 4 minutes of insane credits that I have to talk about.
Honestly, so we structure the podcast like first thoughts, right?
Right.
My real first thought in this movie was, this saxophone solo is way too sexy for a PG movie. Like someone's getting pregnant in this movie just based on the saxophone solo. And then your main character is 15 when the movie starts. And I was like, oh, that was just a weird of the time 80s thing. But no, they go to a house and bang.
Yeah. Imagine the saxophone solo from Careless Whisper over a blue and red shadowy rooftop scene where our main character dressed in her club attire finest and a man who definitely looks even more 30 in this scene than he does in the rest of the movie, it's Brad, are basically just like canoodling and making out.
No.
And then she...
Paige.
Yes.
They're not making out.
They don't kiss.
No, she gets like so close to his face and like turns away.
Yes.
It looks like she hates him, but she doesn't want him to date anyone else at high school.
Oh, yes.
And like 80s Timothy Chalamet looks very sad about it. He's not having a good time.
How dare you? This is not 80s Timothy Chalamet.
Wait, okay, hang on.
Timothy Chalamet is too much of a noodle.
Okay, I saw a little Chalamet in his face a little bit. That's why I said that. But I don't not agree. I think Chalamet's taller.
Well, taller, but he's a noodle. Brad is bulky. This is why he looks 30, because he's bulky like a full-grown man.
I do think Chalamet's probably as old as Brad is in this movie, but because this is in the 80s, Brad looks 58 and Chalamet looks 27 or whatever this guy probably was.
Sure, there's just 100-pound difference between them.
Paige, I swear to, it's like whenever Paige like evaluates it, whether she finds someone attractive, she has to like break out the tape measure across their shoulders.
It's not just the shoulders, it's the all of it.
Hope you measure up, fellas.
Chalamet's not the right comparison. Now, here's the thing. I don't know that there is a modern day right comparison because A, I don't know who the teens is, and B, teens seem to be more noodle these days. From what I don't watch a lot of teen things because I'm not attracted to them.
Paige, all I heard you say was you're right. And
No.
No, but I mean in the sense of like Chalamet is the version for the teens nowadays because the teens nowadays are noodlier. That's what you said.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I'll take the win, guys.
I'm just thinking from like purely a physical descriptor, they look nothing alike.
I mean, you're probably not wrong, but I'm sticking with it. But Paige,
Yes.
Also, it doesn't matter. None of these credits connect to anything story-wise.
None of them connect to anything, but it is how I found out that her dad is played by a guy named Dick Sargent, which is that if you're a drag queen that is dressed in some sort of military finery and not calling yourself Dick Sargent, what you doing? Or a drag king. Yeah, a drag king named Dick Sargent. Make it happen. Anyway, I just have in my notes, who is this shoulder man? And then these credits are so strange and so long. Because you're right. They don't connect to this movie
At all.
Yeah. It's like they're from Dangerous Liaisons. Like, it's a completely different movie.
The whole thing is like him in the credits is like him wanting her and her being like, no. But like the whole movie is the opposite of that, which I guess that makes sense because this is her dream, right?
Right.
And she wants him to want her, not to quote a song or whatever, but like, you know what I'm saying, you know?
Absolutely.
Also, Dick Sargent's the guy from Bewitched, right? Like he's the husband from Bewitched?
Yes.
Okay.
Which, by the way, why did I pick Teen Witch when I couldn't do my other movie? Because I was like, first of all, I was trying to pick movies where people were in love with ghosts because it's October.
Which is why Meet Joe Black.
Which is why Meet Joe Black.
Right.
Well, he's a Grim Reaper. That's a different thing. But like, But we've done almost all the other fall in love with ghosts movies that are not specifically Christmas movies where the ghost is Santa.
Which we had to distinguish.
We had to distinguish.
There's so many of those. You'd be shocked.
There's so many where people are just in love with the ghost of Santa. So we've done most of them with the exception being Hearts and Souls, which is not streaming. I know a lot of you have asked for it. It's not streaming.
It's also very difficult to play because you got to find a partner who can do the bottom part and then you got to do the top part. It's such a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Plink, plink, plink. Anyway, but yes. So that I was like, well, what about ones where people are in love with witches and
Teen Witch?
But Bewitched was another option potentially. But the movie, not the TV show.
Oh, they actually made a movie of that. That's
They
right.
did. It's not that good. Anyway. The credits end. It's a dream. She wakes up. She's got a vibrator in. The guy comes in with all the orphans.
Wait,
Her parents are there with a cake. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's yeah.
It's not another teen movie. No, she wakes up and her brother Richie is under her bed eating a full cake.
Yeah.
Richie's an interesting bird.
No, Richie's one of those things that's like, oh, it's a PG movie. Okay, then it's manageable. But in like an R movie or like once this kid's 18 to 22, he's going to be a problem kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I have so many questions about Richie because at first I was kind of like, oh, is this kind of a fat shamey thing? But no, because Richie seems to have so many other problems and food is just one facet of it. And like the actor seems to be like every new scene is a new person.
Yeah.
Because he is different every time we meet him and his line delivery is unhinged in a way that honestly, I have not found a little brother this entertaining since Better Off Dead, where his little brother is like picking up on women that the mailman wants and like building a rocket like that. It's that level of crazy, except this one has lines and that only makes it better. I've ironed your homework fresh. You're like, what?
Yeah. Oh, when he's like being good because he's under the spell or whatever. Yeah.
Or just afraid of becoming a dog again.
I mean, yeah, which you would be afraid of. So like, I wonder, is Gene from Bob's Burgers at all based on this character? Because his younger sister in that movie is a Louise, and that's the main character from this movie. But it is kind of a Gene vibe if you watch that show. Like a very silly kind of vibe. I don't know. I did like it, but like if he continues on this path, speaking from experience he's
destined for duckydom.
Yes.
Future Ducky.
He may very well end up a band president drumline captain. That's all 100%. I'm saying. Like he's on that path.
Yes. Anyway. So he has been reading her diary under the bed and then tore a page out of it and starts doing a dramatic reading. And holy hell, does Louise have a gift in the smut industry?
Oh, yeah. She's definitely going to be insert smut author of the day of some renowned.
Yeah. I see her more as a Tessa Bailey, probably. That means nothing to Todd, but something to some of you.
I'm sure that person exists, and I'm happy that they have a career.
Look, I mean, if she leans a little bit more into the smut, she could get herself into Sierra Simone territory. I'm just saying, anything's possible.
She's 15 at this point, Paige. Give her some time.
Look, you don't want to see some shit that I wrote at 15, man.
I think we all would love to see that, Paige.
I mean, probably not.
It's basically unicorn smut with some vampires thrown in, but it's great.
Teen girls also be horny. It just comes out in different ways.
I'm sure.
And sometimes it comes out into scribbled notebooks. Anyway. So she goes downstairs, goes to breakfast, and her parents are very, very kind and nice to her, but her parents, they don't understand what's cool. She feels like she's maybe not cool or popular or hip, and they don't really get it. Whatever. They're parents. That happens, right?
You guys have been there.
Yeah. We cut to, she comes outside, and this is basically the street of houses that the Elm Street house is on and the Ferris Bueller house is on. Like, it's all those houses.
It looks like it.
Yeah. She meets her friend on her bike. Across the street, Brad pulls up to pick up Randa. And first of all, Randa has an incredible skirt that I need to make myself. 2, he looks conservatively 30 years old.
He is 30 years old, I guess.
If he picked up a car phone in that car and just went like, yeah, trade high, sell low, and then hung up, I'd be like, more accurate. Like this, you look like you belong in Glengarry Glen Ross. It's not good.
No, because he's picking up a child.
I mean, it's good for me to look at as a fellow 30s.
Right. Yeah. It's age appropriate for you now.
Right. Anyway, what's wild to me is that her friend is like, wow, did you see her outfit? Kind of sleazy. And I was like, she's wearing a t-shirt and a jean skirt.
I think it was like a sweater. I think it was a full-ass sweater,
like a
Paige.
sweater and a jean skirt.
The whore, like she is not dressed provocatively at all.
Not at all.
But I mean, this movie is like, it's pretty conservative in its viewpoint. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is also where we get to school and we meet the group of white rappers who they never speak unless it's in rhyme.
Or unison almost. Like this whole first rap is all three of them saying all of the words together.
Yes. And I also think that it's hilarious that this movie is like, you know what rappers look like? Suspenders.
Yeah.
Jackets.
I mean, the thing is, Paige, it was 89. I'm not sure they were way off.
They were way off.
No.
89.
Yeah, think about the rappers that were like breaking through in 89 to the middle America community.
Yeah, I'll give you one. Vanilla Ice. He didn't look like that shit.
Google that.
I know. They are not dressed like Vanilla Ice.
I mean, they're dressed like the Canadian Disney Channel version of that.
Well, the Canadian Disney Channel version of that is Snow, and he also did not dress like that.
I thought you were going to say the Canadian Disney Channel version was Drake.
No. I think if this is the classic white boy rapper from 89 to 93 look of like larger shirt, baggy pants, slicked back hair, and glasses. Like that's what the look was. These dudes are almost like 5 years too early because they're kind of dressed like Ducky. And they've all got fedoras for some reason.
They look like they are trying to sell your dad a used car.
Absolutely.
And they're rapping in your like high school hallway.
I would almost say they're not rapping. They're yelling tone poems at each other. It's not like they're rapping to the beat. It's like the beat exists somewhere in the world around them. And they have made their own secondary beat that is not connected.
It is just spoken word in unison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is to say bad. It's bad. But it's also very funny to watch it happen.
Absolutely.
Because it does feel like they're trying to fit in a high school, but don't know what that's like because they graduated 20 years ago. And so they just asked somebody what was relevant in pop culture and they said rap. And this is what they thought that was.
Sure.
And so they showed up as a part of their 21 Jump Street sort of thing. And this is what happened.
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. They're too old. I like wrote in my notes of like they're doing the Petra version of rap, which like is like socially acceptable for like conservative Christians to listen to. Like if you couldn't listen to Metallica, your parents would buy you a Petra CD. Like this is like they're pretty much DC talk, I guess is what I'm saying.
Gonna bring Stryper into it next.
I opened for Stryper. They were the meanest. Anyway, whatever. Bret Michaels was nicer.
Anyway, but all of their raps are about how girls at this school are busted and dumb and they are looking for hot girls that are down to be cool.
Yeah.
All right. You should try looking for girls your own age.
I was about to say, like, they're like rapping about how like no one in the school is good enough for them because, bro, you shouldn't be dating anyone south of 31, my friend. Yeah.
But they basically are blocking her locker. They move. They're painting Louise as like this kind of nerdy girl that nobody notices. And I do think this movie does a really good job of the like air quotes glow up for her, where it still looks like her, but like just her with cool clothes and a great perm. Like that's kind of all it was.
It honestly looks like there really wasn't a glow up so much as there was a relinquishing of control over how she dresses and like looks
right
from her parents to herself.
Yes.
So she now has control over that. And so she knows how she wants to look and she looks way better. But I also still think she looks 16. She looks young, you know?
Yeah, of course. But this is where the Weird Sisters comes up. Hail, 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 Latin Club president.
Thank God they cut out that whole storyline. Like, why set her up as a shoo-in for Latin Club president, and then we never hear about the Latin Club again? That's so funny to me.
You can't join Latin Club. It's social suicide.
Exactly.
Anyway, she's late to her English class, and we find out that she is an honors English. So she's basically taking senior English as a sophomore.
Yeah.
Very similar in Mean Girls to Katie taking senior math as a junior. But everyone passes in their papers, and what she doesn't realize is that the sheet of her diary that she grabbed from Richie got stuck to her homework, and then her teacher reads it in front of the class. He's going through and grading papers in front of them, and then he reads it out loud in class. And again, Louise has a future in the smut industry.
Yeah.
I don't know why people can't recognize her genius. But like, how fucking mortifying would that be? If I was a teacher and I saw that, I would just set it down on my desk and then quietly call Louise over later and be like, I think you probably didn't mean to hand this in.
This is why I never write anything down.
I mean, fair.
Take Two Todd in the house. Babbel ad for September 18th. Got any fun trips coming up? One thing you probably have not put on your packing list, learning the language. But with Babbel, you can start talking in just a few weeks. Start speaking in a new language with confidence thanks to Babbel's conversation-based technique that teaches you useful words and phrases you actually use in the real world. I could order in French at an actual French bistro, thereby justifying my pretentious fleur-de-lis back tattoo. Babbel is handcrafted by over 200 language experts, lessons are voiced by real native speakers, and it's built with science-backed tools like spaced repetition and interactive features to fit any learning style. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable and accessible. It's like having a private tutor in your pocket. Thanks to Babbel, wait. All right, take two. I really hope I don't upload the unedited ad like last time. With Babbel, I'm learning Spanish, and I use the engaging dialogue right away with speech recognition to check my pronunciation. I also like the personalized review to lock it in long term. Staying motivated to learn a new language is easy with real-time feedback, progress trackers, and handy visualizations in only 10 to 15 minutes a day on Babbel's mobile app or website. Studies from Yale, Michigan State, and other leading universities continue to prove Babbel works. One of the studies found that using Babbel for 15 hours is the equivalent of a full semester at college, which is saying something, right? Like, how much did I pay for college? With over 16 million subscriptions sold, Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by a 20-day money-back guarantee. So get talking with Babbel. There are more than a dozen languages available. And you can learn at your own pace with material tailored to your proficiency level, interests, and time. So whether it's English, German, Spanish, or Klingon or Vulcan, I guess probably just Earth languages, so still just Earth languages, so like French, Portuguese, Turkish, all of that stuff, right? All of those languages. I use it, and you should too. And listen, I want you to learn another language because it's like a whole workout for the mouth and brain, guys. So I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you a 55% off subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/romancingthepod. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/romancingthepod, spelled BABBEL.com/romancingthepod. Babbel.com/romancingthepod. Rules and restrictions may apply, like, Klingon and Vulcan probably are not an option.
Mr. Monopoly here. Monopoly is back at McDonald's. Register in the McDonald's app so you're ready to
Get your bag!
2 ways to peel for a chance to
Get your bag!
physical peels with select items and digital peels with others to
Get your bag!
play Monopoly at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No purchase necessary. See rules at playatmcd.com for full details and amoe.playatmcd.com to play without purchase. Ends November 23rd, but bonus play ends November 2nd. Monopoly is a registered trademark of Hasbro. Copyright McDonald's.
This is also, I wanted to bring this up because we've watched a number of teen movies recently, and I've noticed a pattern among teachers in teen movies that they always act like they have something better to do. Where they're just like, I don't just come to teach here for my health. And it's like, no, you do it for money. So
It's
you'd
like
have
your
to be
job,
here anywhere.
man.
It's like your job.
Yeah.
Like, where else would you be? Like, not in a way that, like, how when kids are young, they think teachers live at the school. Not like that. But I'm like, It's your job. You have to be here every day.
Yeah, but to be saying this is like, what is your other? What are you going to quit and give it up and become a handsome billionaire, Coach Douthit? Really? Is that what you're going to do, Mike?
Right.
I don't think so. All right.
If you weren't here being late to my Shakespeare class, I'd be painting in the south of France. It's like, no, you wouldn't. You'd still be here.
For the record, I love Coach Douthit. He was one of my favorite teachers, and his first name wasn't Mike.
Anyway, so they read it out loud. She's mortified. She runs away. And I just have in my notes, this teacher's a villain. I hope he dies.
He doesn't. But he should have died. I hated him. When he went through her purse and wouldn't stop going through her purse, I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
That is absolutely an overstep, especially when he's showing the entire class her birth control. I'm like,
yeah,
this man gotta go.
Paige, he almost showed the entire class his dick.
I know.
That one may have been under the influence of a doll.
Of a spell.
Yeah.
But he was doing things that are just as fireable, not under a spell.
Agreed.
But Louise is super sad. She's like, I can't face Brad again because like they literally told Brad that I was like fantasizing about him or whatever.
I mean, he read it in front of the class of which he's in, so he heard it firsthand.
Yeah.
That's why she ran to the bathroom and was like hiding.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, maybe Funke comes in and like is her friend.
Yeah, it does look a lot like Alia Shawkat.
Yeah. And she's also great, just like Shawkat is.
I mean, Shawkat's too old to do it in my reboot, but I'd look for an Alia Shawkat type.
Yes.
But we then cut to the locker room. And this is where we get the full-length song just called I Like Boys.
Which also make up 90% of the lyrics to the song. Like that title is pretty much all they say. And it's just like, it's the cheerleaders, right? Just sort of dancing around.
It's the cheerleaders. And Louise is watching them, but like, she's not one of them. We don't really know what the purpose of this is or what emotional weight this has within the movie. It's like she's just watching a show.
Yeah, and I actually did kind of wonder, Paige, like, okay, are we seeing what she sees in the world around her because it's like a very like heightened version of what's going on and she like doesn't vibe with that sort of lifestyle yet and she like it's really performative to her or something? But no, it's just a musical for a scene for no reason. I mean, and they look directly down the barrel of the camera. They are singing directly to us.
Yes.
It's like, it's wild. A lot of wild choices in this scene.
I do think your initial assessment is absolutely valid if this movie was kind of better. Because once she is popular, once she has powers, once she is a witch, the whole world around her is heightened. The clothes are, everything is technicolor. Everyone is constantly singing and dancing around her. You could absolutely do this where once that changes, life becomes a musical in a way. And so for her to watch this and feel like she's standing on the outside makes a ton of sense. I just think that the movie either didn't realize that's what it could be doing, or it was trying to do that and failing to do that. But I will say, after this scene, I just have in my notes, is this my new favorite movie?
It is a crazy scene. Like, when you see them start, you're like, oh, cool, we'll get like a verse and a chorus and then we'll be done.
Right.
And then they go into the second verse and you're like, oh.
Right.
Okay, maybe they have like a little beat and they want to get out. Oh, no, there's a second chorus. Oh, God, there's a bridge?
Yes.
We're doing the chorus again? We're doubling the... Thank God the coach came in to stop this madness.
Right.
Like, it was forever long.
Forever long, and they're all in matching leotards. And like, don't get me wrong, they look great on everybody, but we had shirts and shorts when I was dressing out for PE.
Yeah.
Because they were cheap and you could buy them at the beginning of the year or whatever. And it just like said the school PE department on the shirt and the shorts. I don't know if things were different back in the day, but it feels weird to have school issued leotards.
It does feel a bit like, I don't even know if this is the right word, but invasive.
A little bit. It revealing, because we do see them mostly just wearing them as leotards.
Yeah, just running around the locker room.
Yeah, and at one point she's got like a sweater over the top of it. I'm like, that's not the part I'd be uncomfortable with. Anyway, we cut out to the football field where Brad is footballing alone.
Yeah, this is the scene where he literally throws one football, takes his shirt off, does a push-up, does a sit-up, and then calls it a day.
It's actually better.
Is it?
He has one football. He throws one football. he has no other footballs around, but then he suddenly has the football again and throws another football and then takes his shirt off and does sit-ups and push-ups.
Wow. But all of this is just to like sexualize him. And honestly,
And
like,
thank you.
to have us see Louise sexualize him. Yes, of course. I'm sure you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no complaints.
Louise seemed to as well. She was like, hey, that old man, everyone seems to be trying to get me to like have chemistry with is over there.
Yeah. But we cut to drama where she's auditioning for the lead with him.
Yeah.
And I didn't see Kiki's audition, so I don't know if Kiki was actually better or if they just picked her because she was pretty, because boy, has that happened to me. But I did think that there was chemistry when they almost kissed, and then somebody interrupted it by being like, woo, in the audience. And I was like, asshole. She had a chance to have a guilt-free stage kiss, and you robbed her of it.
Would it have been guilt-free?
Stage kiss, man.
I actually don't know. Like, that's not cheating, right? That's like
No, it's not cheating.
That's like acting or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I get mad. Yeah.
It's the one way to get a weird free pass.
I guess.
Acting.
I don't know. Like, where's the line on that, though? I guess that's between you and your other.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There are things that I would probably not do because I would consider it crossing a line, and that's something I would probably discuss with Jake, my partner.
Yeah.
But I've kissed people for stuff, and it's not that weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But they don't.
They don't.
She does sit in his lap, though.
That's oddly more intimate, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, it's close. It's pretty close to the contact.
Todd, honest question. What's more intimate to you, kissing somebody or sitting in their lap?
Me sitting in their lap?
Them sitting in your lap, I guess, in this case.
Because me sitting in their lap is not really that intimate. It's just like, why did it happen this way? Yeah.
What do you want for Christmas?
I don't know, man. That's a fair question. Are we talking like a peck kiss or like a kiss on kiss?
Kiss on kiss.
Then probably that. Because, like, you know, there's some, like, swapping of salivas,
Sure.
which is, like, open hole to open hole as opposed to, like, just close.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. For me, it feels more intimate because you're touching a lot more of that person's body.
That's fair. Yeah, you are.
And the kiss is over pretty quick, usually.
Well, if you're doing it right, you're touching way more of that person's body than just their lips, and it's not over quickly.
I mean, it depends on what they're doing stage kiss-wise, but like...
Oh, we're talking stage kiss? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, on the stage, probably lap sitting, because stage kissing is probably very impersonal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But lap sitting, you're sitting there for a while, probably.
Oh, yeah. If she's crop dusting you, you're gonna know.
I saw her velvet skirt flutter and then smelled the waft. That has never been a thing that has happened to me. I don't think I've ever farted on stage, thank goodness. But now, knocking on wood, now that I've said it, it's probably going to happen to me.
Paige, I feel like you're trying to get me to admit whether I have farted on stage, and the answer to that is
You've absolutely farted on stage.
yes, 100%, Paige. But it was different for me. I could have like stood up and
The drums would cover it up.
yeah, like you would not have heard it.
Yeah, but for me, it'd be like, hey, who's driving for Uber? It'd be a nightmare. Men, right? Like,
Did you guys hear what sounded like a stool scooch across the stage? But her stool didn't move at all, right? You guys heard that, right? Though.
and you can't even blame it on somebody in the audience either. Was that you?
No, that was my emotional support fart. So anyway, back to the joke.
Back to the joke. I'm just giving you more of my essence up here.
Ugh.
Anyway, Louise gets to be the costume designer. And admittedly, for most of the play, although she does end up having to be the understudy or whatever at some point, we never see her do it. But for most of the time, she seems perfectly happy being the costume designer.
Yeah, she does. And she seems to really love her drama teacher, who also seems to be a very, very good teacher.
Yeah. But we cut to her biking home, and Brad is driving and runs her off the road, basically.
Because he's making out with his girlfriend through every frame of this movie, a woman named Randa.
Help me, Randa. Help me run this girl off the road.
Paige, hot take. I think Randa knows that Brad might be into Louise, so she's clocked her.
You think she jerked the wheel?
No, I just think she was trying to distract him. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Anyway, he stops the car. He gets out and tries to help her, and she's like, no. I'm fine, please. He drives off. She tries to walk home, calls from a payphone. Phone is disconnected. She passes a spooky house. It's Madame Serena's house. And she goes in to try and use the phone. And the door is answered by Zelda Rubinstein, a.k.a. Madame Serena, a.k.a. the lady from Poltergeist.
The villain from Poltergeist, Paige. I'll say it again. If she wasn't on the ghost side, she would not have given that house a clean bill of clear.
Look, all I'm saying is I did find us a ghost romance movie we hadn't done.
Hell yeah. Is it featuring Zelda?
Yeah, and it's this. She's the ghost. And the love is the friendship they find along the way.
I love it.
But also, turns out, she's Santa.
I knew it. She also has this Triforce. There's a lot going on in this movie.
Anyway, she's like, I don't have a phone, but I'll give you a palm reading for basically however much money you have at the moment. And then upon learning her name and looking at her palm, she's like, you're not a mark. And I was like, I love that she's just admitting she's a con artist.
Yeah, I think that is proving that, like, she's not really a con artist. She just, like, doesn't do this for regular people.
Right.
Because she can see the truth in her hand, so she can read palms.
Yeah.
Or at least she can read another witch's palm, I guess it could be.
Right.
But I took this as, like, she just doesn't see non-witches as worth doing her job for.
Yeah, for sure.
Which to me was funny. I don't know why, but I found that funnier.
I was kind of suspicious of her the whole movie because you realize she kind of doesn't have powers and she really needs Louise's powers.
Yeah, because she's been trying to have sex with a toad, and it's way easier if you can turn that toad into a man for 20 minutes.
I mean, what kind of weird praise kink would it be if someone could only say ribbit?
Gross.
Anyway, she's like, hey, you'll get married, you'll have 2 children, like, but you're a witch and your birthday's next week and you're about to get your powers. And she's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, just trust me, okay?
She's like, it's called puberty or whatever. Trust me.
Yeah.
Just like, trust me, okay? It's an allegory.
Trust. And if this 30-year-old man follows you in a convertible, run.
Truly run.
We cut to her birthday. No one has come to her party because Randa had a party.
Right.
And her parents buy her a sweater that, while potentially stylable in a very preppy wardrobe, is not the coolest sweater. I could rock it.
I think she could rock it. I think that she doesn't want to have to, I guess, is the point.
Yeah.
This is, I think, what sets up for me the feeling of like, oh, she doesn't really have control over the way she presents in the world. And then by the end of this movie, she does. And that's like the glow up of it all.
I think it's because she's just creating money.
I mean, yeah.
And she can buy cool clothes.
Great.
Yeah. But they're having a party. No one comes to hers. We cut to her having a nightmare because she's getting her powers overnight on her 16th birthday. We cut to the next morning where they have sex ed class during home ec. And first of all, we did not have home ec at my school. I would have fucking loved home ec. Did you guys have it?
I didn't take it. I believe we did have like home ec and metal shop and like stuff like that, but I didn't take it. I was in band and chorus all 4 years,
Yeah.
so I didn't have the electives for that kind of stuff. You know, because I was cool, Paige. Sorry, clearly not.
Anyway, she leaves after we hear about the need for condoms, and she goes to get a soda out of the soda machine. It gets stuck, but Brad gets it out for her. Now, this is something that the movie does that I actually really like because there is a question at the end of the movie. Did Brad like her because of the spell, or does Brad just like her? And I feel like the movie does a good job of setting up enough things before the spell of Brad being interested in her as a person, maybe not overtly romantically, but noticing her in the world and kind of getting to know her better. So that there is really a genuine argument of like, he could just like her, or it could be the spell. There's no way to know.
I mean, I think there's pretty good evidence that she doesn't want it to be the spell, and every chance she had to put a spell on him, she did not.
Right.
So I think that what they're trying to say is like, yes, she did, quote, win him with who she is actually and not being a witch.
Right.
But like being a witch helps.
Sure, of course. But we cut to her talking to her teacher, and this is where her teacher finds the magic amulet and is like, I think you should keep it. And she's like, great.
This teacher is a saint, Paige.
Yes.
Because like she could tell that Louise is going through a hard time, and it's very clear that the teacher has been through some hard times too. And so she robs herself, the costume department, of the most costume amulet they could find at Party City.
Right.
And she gives it to Louise and like this very like, oh, I don't know where it came from. It should be with you or whatever. Man, when that amulet had a backstory, I was shocked.
Right?
Because I thought the backstory was she had the best drama teacher ever.
Well, and I thought it was really interesting when they're announcing who gets the parts and Louise doesn't get the part because the director says no, and the drama teacher is visibly disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a good drama teacher. Like,
Yeah.
she was pulling for her because of her talent and because of her interest, and, you know, popularity prevailed, but she knows that it is worth investing time in her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she keeps it. And she walks out of the drama department only to run into Randa and Kiki, who were like, hey, Randa's cousin David is in town. Will you go to the dance with him? We'll pick you up. We can all go together.
Yeah. Because this movie has a mid-semester Friday the 13th dance, like high school dance.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
And Paige, I'm not going to ask because you went to a Christian private school. Did you guys have a Friday the 13th dance? So there's no point in asking because I'm sure it's no.
No.
But we didn't either. I don't think anyone does that. Could you get your local hottest radio DJ to DJ your high school party, Paige?
No, because our local DJs were like national DJs.
Yeah. I thought that was very funny that they had this like literal 55-year-old man
Yeah.
DJing their high school dance.
No, Don Blue and Mornings with Rennell did not DJ our dances.
Yeah, nobody would have even asked Free Beer and Hot Wings or whoever I was listening to in high school
Right?
or whatever.
I don't think Big Boy does dances in LA. But she's getting ready for the dance, and her dad is like, you know, why the long face or whatever? What's wrong?
Well, it's because she's wearing the sweater her mom bought her that she doesn't love, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's why that happens.
Well, and he's like, this is what your mom looked like in junior high. And I was like, that bitch looks cool as hell. She got like the 2 different colored hairs and like all black clothes and glasses. And I'm like, that bitch smokes cloves. Like, I know it's probably the 70s or whatever in that photo, and it's maybe not quite time accurate.
It probably would have been the 60s, like late 60s or
60s.
whatever, which would have been like some pretty like punk times.
Yeah.
Yeah, her mom seems cool as shit like back in the day.
Yeah. Anyway, her date comes to pick her up, and no.
Paige, how dare you say that to what I'm going to call 80s Ben Schwartz?
He absolutely does look like 80s Ben Schwartz. And much like John Ralphio, he's the worst. He's the worst.
He is really terrible. I mean, Paige, he's so terrible. Everyone forgets she murders him in this movie.
He never comes back. And if you watch this on Amazon and like wave your hand over the X-ray feature, it's like in this scene, she disappears her date and he never comes back.
No, he's dead. At the end of this movie, no joke, there's a scene where I'm 90% sure that Brad's wearing a wire because he like asked her to recount the evening's events when she last saw David.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, he was harmless. I told him to beat it and he disappeared. And you see him make a face like, oh, I guess she's not ready to talk, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Guess we're going to have to take this wire off of me.
But he is obnoxious and he's all over her immediately.
Yeah.
They get to the dance. She changes into something more fun. Love it. But then she comes out and he like laughs at her.
He laughs at her like she didn't just put in legit 45 minutes of effort to make herself look better, to be the double to his date.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that they don't know each other very much, but I would have been like, oh shit, I appreciate it, but you didn't have to do all that for me. Like, I appreciate, that's very sweet. But instead he like laughs in her face.
And then he's like, do you want to smoke some weed?
I got that
You're like,
part. That kind of made sense to me. Because he definitely seemed like a guy who was way too in his head about literally everything.
Everything. But, and they're not having a great time.
No, I mean, and they sort of, well, at least she does make it clear that she's like, listen, we just got to get through the evening, but this is not like a love match for me or anything.
Right. And she goes and sits with her friends.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just wish Brad would look at me. And then he does.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I just wish he would come over here. And then he does.
Because she's a witch.
Because she's a witch. And then he's like, can I speak with you outside? And she's like, yes. And they go by the hay bale and he's like close.
Yeah, he's bringing it in. He's like, he wants to chat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I do think, okay, so it's set up that because she's young, her spells don't last very long because her power is not
Right.
fully strong yet. So like in my mind, when he was like, come outside, he was like, they were going to like kiss or something. Like it was, something was going to happen because there was like intent. And then he got out there and the spell kind of sort of wore off. And then he was like, oh, maybe we should like he was like searching for a reason to have brought her outside, if that makes sense. And so it was like, maybe you, a sophomore, can tutor me, a stone cold stupid ass senior in Hamlet. I think it has something to do with the pigs. So ask your grandma for recipes.
Yeah.
I'll see you. And then his actual girlfriend, who by the end of this movie still thinks she's going to marry Brad
Yes.
because they're still in a very loving and committed relationship
He's visiting her at SF State.
every weekend, Paige. And I just feel bad for Randa. That's all I'm saying. But she comes out and she's like, oh, hey, hi, did you guys get enough alone time or whatever? But then they split up and they go their own ways.
Yeah. It's kind of like that scene in Runaway Bride when Chris Maloney comes out and like finds them kissing and is like, what the fuck?
Well, she doesn't even react that way. It's almost
No.
as if she doesn't really see Louise as like competition at all, or like,
Yes.
you know, in that kind of way, which is, I mean, they're neighbors. She might be like, there's no way my neighbor, who we've been friends since we were childs, like would do this to each other. So like maybe it's that kind of a thing, but it doesn't seem like they have that kind of a friendship.
So now the movie is not deep enough to explore this at all.
No.
But this is something that I have experienced in my life a lot, of women just assuming I am not competition in general.
I understand what you're saying, and not to like say it is a competition, because it's very much not, but I understand what you're saying.
Yes. To basically be like, she would not even be a romantic interest, and so I am not worried.
Right.
And honestly, unfortunately to those girls, I am the competition. And I'll win.
Yeah.
Sometimes just to spite you. But
Oh.
this happened with my husband a number of times before we like got married and stuff, where women would like actively hit on him and I'd be like, hi, nice to meet you. And they'd be like, who are you? Like that. And so here's the thing. I don't think Louise is portrayed as that much of a alternative beauty standard for that to be at least a point they're trying to make.
I don't think so either.
I purely think that Rand is just kind of dumb and just
Yeah.
doesn't really, register. And I think this scene serves to question, is he under the spell or not? Because she didn't put a spell on him to fall in love with her. In fact,
It was just come outside.
it wasn't even come outside. It was just,
Oh, that's right. It was come over here.
yeah, it was just look at me and come over here. Come outside, talk. That's all him. And he is sitting close. And this is not a spell system in which only her intentions matter. She has to speak them into existence. And so like, for me, this is one of the scenes that is like, oh, he is kind of into her. And do I think that this is very likely a bit of a pastiche of 16 Candles where the same kind of thing happens? Yes. I think they're very much playing on that same dynamic in 16 Candles where he's the popular senior. He has a hot girlfriend, but is interested in this sophomore, and they're kind of navigating how that works. The difference in 16 Candles is the Randa character is a monster. But still, the thing that happens to her in the movie is not okay.
Of course.
But like, she's played much more malicious in 16 Candles than she is here, where I don't think Rand is particularly malicious. I just think she doesn't care or register.
Or is somewhat oblivious. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, oblivious is more what I would say about her, I guess. But anyway, he's going to come over to work on his English paper with his 12 books. But he leaves his car with the cousin, David, while they go to Kiki's. And it's on the drive to Kiki's. And it's implied that cousin David is going to drive her somewhere that is not Kiki's. And she is now trapped in a car with this man who she cannot guarantee does not mean her harm, is what I would say.
and I definitely think there's evidence to suggest that he would like do something somewhat nefarious. I mean, he does sort of like grope her quite a bit.
Absolutely. Which is why this was definitely self-defense.
Oh, yeah, I do think that she would like, if she could show the video in court, they'd be like, I could see why you felt like your life was in danger based on the interaction you were having. Yeah.
Sure. But she literally is just like, I wish you would just leave me alone. Poof, he's gone. She manages to get the car under control without it crashing. Miracle. Goes and parks it at Kiki's house, leaves the keys, and then gets like runs and is like, oh my God, I got to find him. What am I going to do? Goes to Madame Serena. It's closed. She goes home. And this is where Richie is making a giant pizza with pasta and marshmallows.
Yeah.
This is a very confusing pizza.
Would you eat it though? I'd have a bite. I'm going to be honest with you. I would want to try it. I'd be like, yeah. It might be terrible, but I'd try it.
I think it'd be terrible. It's one of those things where like you're seeing some of the stuff he's putting on there and you're like, all right, okay, pizza ingredients, got it. And then he has a bowl of marshmallows.
That's fair. What are you not seeing that he's put on there? I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that is a concern because of who we're talking about. Like the chef here is not like the bear quality, you know?
Yes. And he says some very mean things to Louise in this moment where he's like,
yeah.
You're a dog. You'll always be a dog. And it's just his delivery is so great and so weird. But in saying that, he turns into a dog. She runs and puts him in the bathtub upstairs, which, why do they have a full bubble bathtub just randomly?
I wondered that because there's maybe the dad's in the house, but we know the mom's not in the house.
Right.
Because that's what triggers them to run upstairs is her getting home in the car in the garage.
Right.
So like, who was the bubble bath for?
Was he going to take that pizza into that bathtub?
Maybe he's a bath boy, Paige.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm a bath boy. I love baths. Baths are very relaxing.
I love me a bath.
Yeah.
Enjoy them very much.
And honestly, pizza in the bath, as long as you don't get it soggy, that's fine with me.
I feel like it'd be really hard to not get it soggy. Pasta in the bath, though, I'm all here for it because it's kind of like the noodles took a bath and then I did. It's late night weird recording.
Yeah, it's almost 11 p.m. right now, and we're not even at the second act break.
We are. We're making our way.
We're close.
Making our way through this movie, talking about stuff, witches and pizzas, bathtubs. Doodly doodly doo. I'm so tired. Doodly doodly doo.
It's 2 hours later for me.
So we cut to her going to Madame Serena the next day. This is where we find out that beginner spells wear off and that water can reverse them.
Yeah.
Which we will see a little bit later too. But this is also where we get the backstory for the necklace. And I love that to tell her the backstory, she opens the New Faces 1652 book.
Yeah.
As if there was like a yearbook for witches in 1652.
Paige, that's exactly what it is. And it looks like there are empty pages where she needs to snap another photo and put it in there and like put the date down.
Yes. Well, and we reveal later that she's like, I've been 16 4 times. It's kind of the Edward Cullen, like, I'm matriculate a lot. Like that kind of same energy of just like you, I guess, come back and back and back and back and you don't necessarily remember your previous lives, or do you? Who knows?
But you look exactly alike.
Right.
Like you are like your old version reborn.
Right. And this is where she also teaches her like you can make money, you can do whatever. But this is also where we kind of get the hint that Serena doesn't really have powers anymore. That it maybe wears off as you age.
That's the way I read it.
Yes.
And she does use the last of her powers on like...
To help her, yeah.
Yeah.
But we cut to the woods by lantern light in the town carousel. Why she goes and hangs out on a carousel all the time? Who's to say? But this is where she calls the winds, she calls the rain, because she was in Latin Club. Latin Club.
Yep.
Witch Club. Witch Club president.
Yep. She would be the Witch Club president. Yeah.
Yes. But she finds a spell that causes people to only tell the truth. So she tries it out on some of the popular girls at school. And they're like, you can't sing worth a shit. You're fucking awful. Well, your mom's a fucking drunk. And you're just like, oh my God, this got rough immediately.
Like Kiki's having a Kiki. Like they are like,
yes,
like going to town on each other.
Lock the doors tight. Yes.
Any chance I get to quote the Scissor Sisters, I'm gonna.
Hunting. They push Kiki into the pool, or not Kiki, one of the other girls into the... No, it's Kiki.
I think it is Kiki, yeah. And she snaps out of it immediately because she's in water, but the other girls fight a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Paige, there are a few things in this movie that like, they go on a little bit too long. And it's almost like I think you should leave sketch because there's like a funny premise and then it continues too long and then it goes until it's funnier. And this is one of them.
Yes.
You know, because it starts off with them like fighting and bickering and then he like follows them out of the locker room and you're like, what? Why are we continuing this scene?
Yes. And it just gets more and more vicious.
Yeah. And then eventually she gets shoved into the pool. The other one of this is the teacher walking through a car wash.
Oh, yes. When we get to that, it's fucking nuts.
It's so insane to me.
And then paying them at the end, like, thanks for the hot wax.
Crazy.
Crazy. But we cut back to Madame Serena's house, and she basically is like, can I make him fall in love with me? Because that's what I really want. And she's like, yeah, this, here's the love spell. You sprinkle this on your bed or whatever. And at this point, I was like, oh, I don't love this. Because then if you do this spell and finish it, you never know if he truly liked you for you, right?
Right.
But she also helps her turn a toad, a frog, into a prince. But then when she's like, oh my God, my lover, what do you have to say? And he just goes like, ribbit. I was like, perfect. Great. Perfect joke.
Perfect, because she definitely knew she had 15 minutes before we went full toad, so she did rock the boat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way she didn't smash.
Either that or he's dead in the garden. And either one is kind of a fun thing to think about.
Why is he dead in the garden?
Because she couldn't.
Say it, Paige. Speak it into existence like a spell.
She couldn't let the world know mutants like him existed.
So wait, that's so much darker. Hang on. So in your world, he's fully the body of a man, brain of a toad.
Correct, like the goat man in Stardust.
So she had sex with it one time and then killed it.
I don't know that she had sex with it.
Paige, do we not know? We don't. Oh, yeah. Let's assume she went through the trouble of like obfuscating from the person with real powers what she was doing with her own magic, which first off, I don't know, it's the magician equivalent of stolen valor though. Secondly, she was gonna fuck that toad. There's no way she wasn't.
So here's how I thought it went down. The toad ribbits and she's like, oh no, it's an affront against God. Get the shovel.
Once I'm done with it,
No. Like immediately, like
Paige, I'm gonna need you to get on board that they definitely smash.
I'm gonna need you to get on board that amphibians can switch gender and don't need to have sex, just like Jurassic Park taught us.
I'm not saying that toad can't decide to be whatever that toad decides it wants to be. I'm just saying that Zelda brought it there for the purpose of smash.
I think that was her intention. I don't know if that was her follow through.
That evening does not end until she's full of tadpoles, but we gotta move on.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, Brad comes over to work on the English paper, and this is one of the running jokes in this movie that made me laugh every time, is that every single person that comes in the room is like, where are the chairs?
Well, because she wants him to sit on the bed. It's part of the spell, Paige.
No, I know, but I just thought it was funny that every single other person is like, what'd you do with the chairs in here?
Well, there were like 8 chairs. When she opens the closet with the chairs, they're stacked.
She has so many chairs.
Like she's got chairs on chairs, literally.
How many chairs did you have in your bedroom, Todd?
I slept on a couch in the living room.
Okay, so like 4.
We had a recliner in there.
Right.
I guess.
And a couch counts as 3 chairs.
Boom! I had a shit ton of chairs.
Boom. I had 1 chair. It was a computer chair near the computer.
Hence the chair.
Right. So it was wild when she opened her closet and there was like 6 chairs. And I was like, where do all the chairs go? And then she starts like unpacking them.
Well, she had a vanity.
She did have a vanity.
She had a desk.
That is not a vanity. So that's 2 chairs. What are the other 4 chairs for?
It's the dining room table, maybe. I have no idea. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But she wants him in her sweet, sweet bed, Paige. She's 16 now. She wants to have sex with a 30-year-old, apparently.
I mean, it shouldn't happen. It's bad. We should keep 30-year-olds away from 16-year-olds.
In this movie, he is a senior and she is a sophomore. We have to see it that way.
Right.
Because what is on screen is troubling.
My favorite is when her brother comes in and is like, where are all the chairs? And she's like, shut the fuck up and leave us alone. And he just goes, like a dog.
Yes, because she turned him into a dog, Paige.
I know.
It's traumatic.
He's still part dog, much like the prince is still part frog.
At this point, that frog might be in the garden dead.
That's what I'm saying. She's like, we can't let them know we've been experimenting. Anyway, she does try to do the spell.
She starts to do it.
She doesn't finish it.
Yeah. I think it's important to say she does not finish the spell because he's not under it.
Right. And she pulls all the chairs out. So they just continue to study. And this is just one more scene in which they just kind of get to know each other for a little while.
Yeah, instead of reading the 7 books he brought with them. It's too many books.
The 7 books you need to get into college. It's just, what books do you think they were? Take a guess. What's Brad reading?
I mean, I definitely think Hamlet was one of them.
Hamlet, curing pork and other butchering skills. Butchering for dummies.
It's definitely butchering for dummies. What to expect when you're pig-specting. Like, there's just going to be a bunch of those kind of books because he wasn't sure, Paige, because he's a stone cold dummy.
Tuesdays with Snorty.
Oh, my God. It's too late. It's too late, Paige. This is not fair.
Bacons of wrath.
Oh.
Bacons.
It was the beef of times. It was the brisket of times, Paige.
Anyway, we cut to the next day. They're at school and they're sitting like desk to desk talking.
Yeah.
And again, indicators of interest that are not related to spells. And he's kind of complaining about something Randa did. And she's like, well, why do you put up with her? And he's like, well, she's popular. And so prom is her thing. And so like, yeah, I'll put up with her, and I'll take her to prom or whatever. The teacher interrupts them, and as she kind of moves her desk away from him, she drops her bag, and a hairdryer and birth control pills and a handful of things spill out of it. And he picks them up and starts going through them and showing the entire class the stuff that's in her bag, which absolutely should be a problem for him as a teacher. Like, that is wildly inappropriate.
Yeah, it's so invasive. It's gross.
Yeah.
I understood why she was like, oh, I'm going to ruin this dude's life.
Yeah. And she basically is like, don't do that. I'm warning you. And he keeps doing it. So she goes home and makes essentially a voodoo doll of the teacher and uses it as he's kind of giving his next lecture to undress him in front of the class.
Yeah. I mean, down to he's about to take his boxers off and like, it's the principal that comes in, right?
The principal interrupts it and is like, what's going on? And I think clearly is like, oh, this teacher is having a mental health crisis.
Yeah.
And ushers him away. And they're trying to like walk him down the stairs. Meanwhile, she's gone home. She just sets the doll down and doesn't pay attention to where it goes. And Richie like drags it up the stairs and drops it down the stairs. So in real life, the teacher falls down the stairs. Then her mom is like, oh, this is so dirty. She spent so much time making it. I'm going to wash it. Puts it in the washing machine, at which point the principal, just walking around in his everyday life, walks into a car wash.
That's the teacher. The principal's not there.
Teacher.
The teacher, yeah. He walks into a full-ass car wash. I felt so bad for the actor because he's legit just walking through like a car wash, guys.
Yep. And comes out and tries to pay for it and is like, thanks for the hot wax. Just like bonkers.
The attendant's like, it's free, man. Like something's going on in your life.
Right.
But he's like, no, let me pay you for the hot wax.
Right. But we cut to Louise in drama class where her teacher shows up and is like, wildest thing, I won the lottery. I don't even remember winning, but I found a ticket in my pocket and I bought myself a whole new wardrobe. And then I met a wonderful man from Argentina and I asked no further questions about where he was in the 1940s. And I am taking a sabbatical and he's going to tour me around the world. It's Count Lagando. Great.
Also, Paige, her spells are notoriously weak and don't last long.
Correct.
So I gave this new relationship for her teacher 2 weeks tops. I was shocked when she was still in it at the end of the movie.
Well, but I think it's only been a couple weeks and she's writing postcards. She's like, we've already been around Europe twice. And you're like, how long did you spend in each place?
I know, right? You would have been like sprinting around Europe to do it all in 2 weeks twice.
Right.
But also, like, I do feel okay about her dating this new count, if you want to say, from Argentina because she has her own money.
Right.
Like, it's not like he's whisking her away to a life of luxury she could never afford. She could.
Right.
My concern for her is he's not really a count. He's just some handsome guy who is like a grifter. He's like a dirty, rotten scoundrel from the movie.
Yes.
Dirty rotten scoundrel.
Scoundrels.
That was my concern for her.
Anyway, so she runs off. Louise and her friend go biking. Brad waves at her as he drives by, which again, he's not under any spells. So like, he is interested in her.
And listen, it's a huge step up from running her off the road, which is what the last thing he was doing when he drove by her.
Absolutely. But this is where her friend, Paula, admits that she has a crush on Rhett, the leader of the White Tone Poem Rappers. And they come upon them outside of a car, and he's rapping the same phrase over and over again for some reason. But this is top that. This is the one scene everyone knows from this movie where she puts a spell on her friend.
Yes.
Her friend walks over there and is like, disrespect is not, and you're just like, what is happening? And they rap into each other's faces for a little bit.
Yeah, but like her friend Paulie does such a better job than Vanilla
Absolutely.
Water does, or whatever his name is.
Right.
He can barely rap, and she's like way faster and just on beat and like way better than he is. It's great.
So much better. But she like walks away and is like, top that. And you're like, yeah. We cut to Madame Serena's place. Louise is like, I want to be popular. Like, I want to be
popular.
I want to get all the boys and wear all the clothes. It's very cool to be. Anyway.
Accurate, though, to this movie.
Yeah. Very, very popular. Top that. And Madame Serena is like, these are pretty big spells, but like, this is one that I think we can do. But I do love that she's listing off, she's like, the most popular girl. And some of them are troubling because they have all died in awful ways. But then she gets to the end of the list and it's Annette Funicello. And I was like, of the Mouseketeers? Like, sure. I mean, she was a popular actress. That's just a weird pull after Marilyn Monroe.
And Cleopatra.
And Cleopatra.
Yeah, it's like some heavy hitters.
Yeah. But she's like, I think we can pull this one off. You have to go get a piece of this person's clothing and one of their records. And then spin counterclockwise and say all these things in Latin. You're Latin Club president, right? Perfect. This will be easy for you. And they go to a concert where they like, she spells her way backstage where she like makes her name appear on the list. They let them backstage. And then she puts a spell on the lead singer who basically is like, I want you to have this tour jacket. I've had it since my first album.
Literally, it would have been the most special of special things. And she just gave it away to a stranger whose name she just knew.
Yeah, weird. So she has the jacket. She comes home. She does the spell. And then we cut to essentially like she spins in her room and her mom is like, turn the music down. We see the flash under the door. The next day, she is suddenly cool. There's music outside. All her clothes are bright. Brad and his girlfriend Randa are like, ride to school with us. So she kind of ditches her friend.
Yeah.
All of the people at school want to sit with her, want to be with her, but they keep kind of pushing her friend Polly out. I am obsessed with every outfit she has. And I will say that Louise is trying to hang out with Polly most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, she does take on new interests. Like, she does join the cheerleading stuff, and she gets busier. Like,
right.
Polly's hurt, obviously, because her friend's busy. But her friend does still like...
She tries to sit with her multiple times.
Yeah.
She tries to walk with her, and everyone kind of crowds and pushes Polly out.
Yes.
But this is the point at which Louise rides home with Brad. Brad offers her a ride home. And then he drives, air quotes, the long way. They hike up to this kind of windmill in the middle of some sunflowers. He kind of like hides from her or whatever, gets her upstairs. And then they bang it out, it is implied.
We see him laying on top of her and they're making out. So, like, they're more than friends, which I don't know if you remember, but Randa still exists, Brad. Like, she's your girlfriend you're taking to prom and seeing every weekend during college.
At San Francisco State. Randa is also Louise's friend at this point.
Yeah.
But I will maintain that this love scene is shot from the female gaze, and I appreciate that. Anyway, we cut to Madame Serena's house, and Madame Serena is like, oh, he took you the long way and then kissed you? That's great. But at this point, Louise is like, is it me or the spell? Did he actually like me? Or is he under the same spell as everyone else? And I don't really like the idea that I don't know.
Yeah.
But we cut to the play. They're starting to do the play. But she congratulates the leading lady, Kiki, because again, she seems to have no animosity towards Kiki. She's like, I did the costumes, the shit's lit. Break a leg, Kiki. Now, here's the thing that I have been trying to find in fun facts.
Oh, yeah?
And because this was 89, I think it's not. But I think it must be some relation. The guy that is like carrying the wires looks like a young Nicolas Cage.
What?
Yes. Now, in 1989, we know that Nicolas Cage was like already a movie star and had like been in stuff. It's clearly not him. But this kid must be another Coppola.
You think he's like a loose Coppola out there in the world?
Yes, just like a Lucy out in the world. Anyway, the girl breaks her leg. So now Louise is the one who has to play the lead in the play. We never see her doing that.
Right. But she does break her leg, which is not anyone's fault. She doesn't really intend for her to break her leg, but she does say it, so it happens.
Yes. But we cut to Louise now as a cheerleader, and she's trying to catch up with Polly, and she's like, hey, I miss you. And Polly's like, oh, do you? Because it seems like you have a ton of friends now. And I don't entirely think it's fair for Polly to be angry at her in this moment, but I understand where that anger comes from. Does that make sense?
Me too. I agree 100%. Like, I get it, Polly, but it's not necessarily your friend's fault that, like, she got other interests. And she is still trying to make time for you, but doesn't have as much time as she used to.
Right.
But it does suck. Like, I do feel sad for Polly.
Right. But then we cut back to Louise's house the next morning. Richie has ironed her homework and made her breakfast in bed. And we cut downstairs to where her parents are in the kitchen. And they're like, Richie's cleaned everything up. Do you think he's on drugs? And then we cut away from it. And it's one of my favorite things in the movie.
The dad does respond in a way that lets you know he's never heard anything his wife has said to him up until this point.
Yes.
Because he's like, wait, what? And then it cuts away.
We cut to, and this is where we cut to Louise in her room reading a book in a full denim jacket, bundled up in bed, holding a teddy bear, and then holding the book in front of the teddy bear.
She's doing the spell. This is what she was told to do.
I mean, the spell for coziness, yes. But literally everyone is on her lawn cheering her on, which I do think a more heightened, unhinged version of this would be hilarious. Just this idea of like, you wish to be popular and then it immediately gets out of hand. And it's a million people of like, I bought Omni pants and flip-flops, like that kind of like mania.
Yeah.
And so she like escapes her house and goes out with Brad in a boat. And he asks her like, please come to the dance with me. And he's like, because you're not phony and you're honest. And she's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
There's something you don't know. And no, I can't go to the dance with you. I have to figure some shit out for myself.
And also, you're still fully dating Randa.
Right?
Like, we can't go to the dance together. What would your girlfriend say?
Right? But she goes back to Madame Serena and she's like, I gotta reverse this spell. And Madame Serena's like, why? The house is perfect. You've done all these good spells. Like, why would you want to give this up? And she's like, because I don't know if people actually like me or not. And I do think it's very heartfelt when Madame Serena is like, I always had to make people like me. And
Yeah.
so I am envious of the fact that it came so easy for you. So it is hard for me to understand why you would want to give that up when I have always been on the other side of it.
Yeah.
But explaining it, sure. And here's the thing, the spell only works as long as you believe the spell works. So if you just go out there, be you, who you are, that's what's going to translate to people, essentially.
Isn't that the best metaphor for confidence, though?
110%.
The spell only works if you believe it works, which I love it.
I absolutely love it, and it's absolutely accurate. I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day. I was basically like, look, the key to being confident fat girl is believing you are as hot as everyone else at all times, and then just operating as if that is the case.
Yeah.
And you know what? It becomes the case.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens, essentially, because that's what people end up attracted to, is just like, that bitch seems to know what's going on. Like that, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I kind of love this as the message of this movie of like, you didn't need the spells. Like, you didn't need any of this.
Yeah.
Being you was enough. But, and I love that they do sit on each other's laps as they have this very tender moment.
Man, when she sat on Zelda's lap, I was like, this looks, and then they both laugh and you're like, oh, thank God, they're in on the joke, you know?
Yes.
And then they switch and it's very cute. I really did love it.
Very cute. But we cut to the dance, and this is where we get Randa's story about how Brad is going to visit her every weekend at SF State. He is not.
And he does not say no, and she says it with the confidence of someone who's made a plan with her boyfriend.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It just makes me feel bad for her because Brad's a stone cold bad dude.
Yeah. He is absolutely dumping her immediately after this prom, after he has already had sex with Louise by the dumpster. Like, 100%.
And after having sex with her days ago at the windmill or wherever they were.
Right. The sunflower factory. You get it.
He got up in her Quixotes.
Don Quixote.
There you
Is
go,
this a
Paige.
windmill?
There you go. She got there. I saw you
got
break
there.
it down. I saw you break that shit down.
Look, the sunflowers all turned and looked in the direction of the joke.
And they just slowly shook their heads side to side.
I love that there's like a cutaway of a couple dancing too close, and the principal or the teacher comes up and is like, essentially Bible width apart, leave room for the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Amazing. But Louise shows up with Serena and gives Serena the amulet, implying that that's the root of some of the power.
Oh, I think that was her saying, I don't need to be a witch for this. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think Zelda is proud of her. Like, even though she, in the last time we saw them talk about this, was very much like, are you sure you don't want to just use your power on this? I think she is very supportive of, Louise making the opposite choice that she did.
Right. But then also Polly dances with Rhett. They're clearly still into each other. Spell or no spell.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be a bigger age gap than our two main characters.
Yeah, because Polly looks conservatively 13.
His name is Rex, you said?
Rhett, like Rhett and Link.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. And honestly, I'm only saying that because that's Rhett Butler's line. But Paige.
Yes.
He was the guy who did everyone's taxes on set.
100%.
And he was like, I can take off my green visor and act if this guy doesn't show up. Like, that is how old he is. And she does look 15.
Yeah.
It's concerning.
Yeah. But while that's happening, Brad spots Louise from across the dance floor, where his girlfriend is standing by about to watch these two dance and make out on the dance floor.
I mean, by the end of this dance, she's pretty much sitting on his knee.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of dance.
Yeah.
And that's the movie. So, Paige, having seen this movie, having talked about this movie, and really seeing Brad be just the worst boyfriend anyone's ever been, but never been held to account for, what did you think about Teen Witch?
Honestly, new fave. New fave. This is a new comfort film for me. I'm gonna watch this, Lisa Frankenstein, and Jennifer's Body and have a grand old time.
Those are wildly different but similar movies.
Yes.
Like, I understand that as a unofficial, like, coming of age spooky girl trilogy.
Yes.
But I also think it's definitely worth watching. It's kind of, once you've seen it once, you don't have to pay attention. It's like that kind of movie. So you can definitely, once you've seen it, just throw it on and decorate, and like have a spooky kind of feel good time while you're kind of paying attention and kind of not. It's like that kind of movie. And it's fun. But like sometimes you're in it for like the full 2.5, 3.5 minute like dance routines. Sometimes you're not. So you want to go get some more like candy corn from the kitchen, and it's a good movie to like walk away for that kind of stuff. But Paige, do you have any fun facts for us?
Yes.
Well, hit us with your fun facts. Louise,
Top fun facts. The creepy house that Louise walks into at the start of the movie was used by Michael Jackson in his music video Thriller.
What?
I know.
That's awesome. I love it.
During a panel at a screening, Robin Lively said that the scene in which she and Zelda sit in one another's laps was filmed after lunch, and Zelda had bad breath, making it tough for her to keep a straight face. Unfortunately, she did not know that Zelda was in the audience at the time.
Oh, no.
Here's a wild fact that might make you happy. As of 2022, haven't checked up on this since then, the actor who played Brad, Dan Gauthier, and Lisa Fuller, the actress who played Randa, are married. They have been married since 1990, the year after this movie. They met on the set, fell in love, got married, have been married ever since.
Oh,
he visited her at SF State.
God.
He went to SF State.
Oh my God. I honestly am blown away.
Justice for Randa.
I am blown away. I wonder if she looks back on like this time in their life as like, that time that sophomore almost stole my husband. There's no way Randa doesn't like hate witches. You know what I'm saying? Like, she hates them.
Now, this film was originally intended to be a female version of Teen Wolf, and it went as far as to borrow the design for the lettering, the tagline, and the plot line. I will argue that this actually shares more with 16 Candles than it does with Teen Wolf.
I could definitely see the Teen Wolf beats of it all, but like the, feminine version maybe. But like, I definitely think this has a like stronger like through line of romance than that.
Yeah.
That movie is more about winning state championship basketball without being a wolf.
Right. But if Brad had turned out to be a werewolf, I wouldn't have been mad at it.
Paige, I know. We all heard how offended you got when I said he was 80s Chalamet.
Yeah. The interior set for Madame Serena's house didn't have steps leading up to it like the shots of the exterior showed. So whenever Whenever Louise leaves, she has to crouch down out of frame as if she's walking downstairs, like the way you do behind a counter with like a fake escalator.
You're like pretending there are stairs back there or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Robin Lively, who played Louise, has said that she is now mortified by her makeout scene with Dan Gautier, aka Brad. If you are in Los Angeles, now I don't know if this is still actively running. You should check the Groundlings website for that. But periodically at Groundlings, there is a comedy musical based on this film called Teen Witch Live.
Hell yes.
Hell yes, indeed. I already mentioned that David disappears and never comes back through the entire movie, and we talked about Dick Sargent being on Bewitched.
Yes.
Madam Serena says, I like your cutesy little Punky Brewster face. Robin Lively actually played Lisa in 2 episodes of Punky Brewster.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
Wait, okay. Hang on. Is this Ryan Reynolds' sister-in-law? Hang on.
No, not at all.
To Google. No, it's gotta be. How many Livelies are there, Paige?
Enough, probably.
It's Robin Lively?
Yeah, Robin Lively. Robin with a Y.
Oh my God, Paige. This is
What?
Blake Lively's half-sister. Yes.
No, shut up. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I swear to God.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This is, according to her IMDb, the relatives, and listen, there are a lot of Livelies there, one of which is Blake Lively, and then Ryan Reynolds listed as brother-in-law. Like, I'm not saying she's got a piece of Mint Mobile. I'm just saying they're related.
Yeah, she was also on Twin Peaks for a while.
Oh, okay.
Silver Spoons, Doogie Howser, MD.
I mean, she's definitely still acting, you know.
Oh, yeah. She's been in a million things.
Yeah, her sister's Blake Lively, and her brother-in-law is Ryan Reynolds.
Damn, that is wild. All right. Mandy Ingber, who played Polly, at a personal appearance, admitted to the audience that she had an attitude problem on set because she felt like the director didn't know what he was doing, and that the Top That number was not in the original script and was filmed during a reshoot.
What? Really?
Yes. Mandy, modern day, is a celebrity yoga instructor. She has a New York Times bestselling book on yoga, and Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lawrence, and Brooke Shields are among her clients. The shooting locations, as we kind of mentioned, are Glendale, Griffith Park, and Beverly Hills. Louise Miller's house is on South Irving Boulevard in Los Angeles. So many things are filmed in those neighborhoods. That's throw a rock, you'll hit a movie house. Debbie Gibson, pop star Debbie Gibson, was the original choice for the role of Louise Miller and was going to star in the film, but negotiations fell through before she could be cast. Had she been cast, I strongly suspect that this would have been even more of a musical. Do you want to know how old Brad was at the time of shooting?
Can I make a guess?
Yes.
I think he's a decade older than she is. I think he is 10 years older.
They're not 10 years apart.
Okay.
He was 25
Okay.
at the time. She was 18.
Okay. I mean, not quite as bad as I thought, but that's still not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the haircut they gave him made him look closer to 30, but
Yeah, it was also the 80s.
yeah. I'll end on this last one just because it relates to another movie we've done recently. So as of late 2009, or rather in late 2009, Ashley Tisdale was attached to a remake of Teen Witch playing the title role. She had commented in 2010 that they expected to start filming, but as of 2022, no word on any movement on the project or any other iteration of the project. So let me fucking write it, please.
Honestly, Ashley Tisdale, 2009, 2010,
Perfect.
would have been a great version of this. Yeah.
Incredible.
After seeing her in High School Musical, she could have crushed it.
Crushed it.
Too old now, sadly, but like could have crushed it then.
Absolutely. And those are your fun facts.
Well, thank you for those fun facts, Paige. Let's talk a little bit about box office, and I do mean just a wee little bit because I only have the budget because it didn't really go to theaters, obviously. But Paige, do you want to guess?
Was this a TV movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Did you watch? Clearly. Did you? Yes. Very painfully a TV movie, Paige. But do you want to guess what the budget for the movie was?
I bet they made this for about $6 million.
You're actually shockingly close for today's standards, but at the time it was $2.5 million.
Okay, all right.
But if you adjust for inflation, that's 6.5. So you're very close for today's dollar.
Inside my brain was like 3 million. And I was like, no, the outfit's 6 million.
That's what those outfits are worth today, Paige.
Fair.
Back in the day, they were just like the clothes that were available. They weren't vintage.
Right.
But okay, Paige, I did tell a little bit of a fib when I said this didn't get a theatrical release. It was in 17 theaters the weekend of April 21st in 1989, and it brought in $27,843.
Great. Good for them.
So it primarily was a made-for-TV movie, although it did get a very small theatrical run.
Yes.
But that is your box office. Paige, do you want to hit us with the romance scale?
Our romance scale is a scale of 1 to 4 of how romantic we found the movie today, Todd.
It's a 1 because he's too old for her.
Sure. I'm going to give it a 1.5 because he's still dreamy. And then roar scale, I'm going to give this a 1.
It's a 1 for me as well on the roar scale, yeah. Do I think they're still together? No.
No.
Because at no point were they together. He's always been with Randa, and he's still with Randa.
Randa is his true love, and that's why he visited her at SF State.
Honestly, she hates witches now.
And that's your romance scale.
So this week, Paige, you made us watch Teen Witch. What are we going to watch next week?
You know, on this show recently, we've had kind of a troubling trend
Oh, God.
where siblings seem a little too close.
Oh, God.
And also, it's October and spooky times. So the next movie we're doing is one that they've been trying to get us to do on Horror Virgin for years. And joke's on you. We're doing it here. It's Crimson Peak.
Wow. So your homework for next week is to watch Siblings Getting Real Close.
Yes.
Because we watching Crimson Peak.
That's right.
That's your homework for next week, guys.
Your homework is to get pushed out of a tower window and into the world of Crimson Peak.
Because you can see the future.
Yes. Hey, do you have any reviews for us, Todd?
I do. This week, I'm going to read a review from our most recent High School Musical episode. This is probably the most comments we've ever got on either podcast episode. Like, I'm going to say this. A lot of people were very upset that someone said that these songs were forgettable.
It's me. I said it multiple times and I stand by it.
I got lumped into that, even though I was the one who was like, no, I can remember these songs, although it was 2.5 that I could remember. So I'll read Shelbs because I read Claire's last week. And let's just say I would have read Claire's this week if I hadn't read hers last week, because this week it was very clear she thought Ryan was a gay best friend and not brother, and she had some feelings about the revelation of his actual character. Anyway, but Shelbs says, okay, so when are we watching the best summer movie of all time, HSM 2?
I mean, not right away. It'd be weird to do them back to back.
I think we should keep it like they kept it and do them annually.
This is our new annual because we finished 365. We finished 50 Shades.
Yeah.
We need a new annual. Yeah.
Paige, listen.
Maybe.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together, trapped on podcasts.
So, Shelbs, maybe we'll make it our new annual and we'll do one a year until we all die.
Yeah.
But if you want to have me read your 5-star Apple review and or Spotify comment, leave us one of those things and I'll do just that. So yeah, if you guys like this show and want to hear our other show where we talk about horror movies, that is The Horror Virgin. That's the only other podcast I am on, but Paige is also on Cult Podcast, which you can find at Cult Podcast. And you can find us on social media. I am at Todd J. Awesome, literally everywhere. Paige is at Paige Wesley on Instagram.
No, it's at Rampage Wesley on Instagram and TikTok, at Paige Wesley on Twitter.
That's right. All right. So that's where you can find Paige. If you want to find the show, we are at Romancing the Pod Show, right?
Yep. Romancing Pod Show on Twitter.
Well, and Instagram, right?
And Instagram, but it's show SHO because character limits. If you start typing Romancing the Pod, it'll come up.
It'll definitely come up on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter because I haven't posted on Twitter in a hot ass minute. So like, who knows? But that is where you can find more of us. So yeah, guys, give us a follow. Support the show any way you can. We'd love it.
Smash that like button.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to be it for us, you guys. I'm Paige.
And I'm Todd.
And you complete us.
Top that, pleation.
Who would ever really complete us like that? Top that.
This movie was a bag of crazy nerds.